Today's a special day. We got our first free whiskey.
Free whiskey? Woohoo!
Does that now make us whiskey influencers?
Hell yeah.
Welcome back, Bot Killers. Oh, I better not let it all get to my head.
Well, a whiskey will probably do a good enough job of that.
Yeah, we got a substantial Deanston Drink Through coming your way today. As always, I'm your host, Michael Roche. And as always, you know his face by now. He's the often imitated, but never duplicated. It's the real Bot Killer, ladies and gentlemen. How the hell are you?
Doing good, thanks, Michael. Thank you all for joining us today.
Are you feeling influential?
I don't know about that.
So great. Well, you know, we've got our first free gift, which we received from the lovely Molly at Deanston Distillery, which is kind of just I was blown away. Away, and we'll kind of tell you a bit more about that as we sort of intro this episode. There's a bit of a theme online about when you do get given free whiskey from PR companies and distilleries and people, you know, there's kind of a issue with impartiality, I guess. You know, people think you can be bought off and you know, our 207 subscribers can are not getting fed honest information. But I say fuck it. I say fuck it, because what I want to do is I want all the free whiskey I can get. Are you going to turn down free whiskey, Jay?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, absolutely. Because at the end of the day, we're not whiskey commentators. We're whiskey
Entertainers.
Exactly, absolutely. But this, I'm like Chief Wiggum, you know, when he like takes the jeans on The Simpsons, like, hey, you got them, boys. Send them our way. This doesn't feel as transactional though, because this is from the lovely Molly at Deanston, who we had an amazing time when we went to Deanston Distillery. We went on a visit last November. She was incredible. You know, that sort of meme online, like get yourself a guy that can do X, Y, and Z. It's like if you're a distillery, get yourself a Molly, because she's incredible, personable, great customer service, and a great salesperson as well. We bought a lot of whiskey at Deanston in the shop. So this doesn't feel too transactional. This feels like having a drink with friends. It's just Molly couldn't be here today.
No, but we'll see her again.
We will.
Back at Deanston.
We will, absolutely. So, well, you tell us the story about this. Just make it concise. I think I've waffled a bit there, but just tell us, you know, what we're doing today.
Yeah, so we do a whiskey tour once a year with the guys, and last year we were up in Speyside and the Highlands, and the last distillery that we visited was Deanston Distillery. So we had an amazing tour, absolutely fantastic, by a young lady called Molly. And at the time, we were a fledgling channel. We probably still are a little bit, but the subs are going up, so thank you. And Molly reached out in the comments not long after, telling us about a couple of the episodes that we'd done, particularly Bits or No Bits, and offered to send us a nice little dram package. So I'm expecting, you know, like one or two little scraggly things, you know, freebies. And I get a package through in this, you know, beautiful box, all these little dram samples, Highland Fudge, but the thing that probably blew me away the most was a personalised handwritten letter from Molly.
This is amazing.
Outlining the drams that we've got, and this is what we're going to be trying today, some of Molly's favourite drams. There's some incredible ones on here. So, yeah, thank you so much. Absolutely blown away. And apologies it's taken us so long to get to reviewing them. I think we've had them for a little while, but today is the day.
Yeah, I was just blown away. The personality of the handwritten letter is it's a lost art. You know, I think when, you know, when the people get letters in the post now, you know, you get Amazon packages, you get bills upon bills upon bills as you get older, but rarely do you get someone to take the time of a handwritten note. So that was really extra appreciated from myself and Jay, I know. So let's tuck in then. So I don't know too much about these because, you know, we're going to call this the Deanston Drink Through. And so these are a little bit rarer of the Deanston collection. These are not the core range. These are like they said. These are Molly selected these based on when we were in the shop and when we did a tasting with Molly, what we kind of told her that we liked. So I'm really interested in trying them. So what have we got first?
So the first one that we've got is Deanston Chronicles Edition 2. This is designed to showcase 4 different casks across 4 different decades from the distillery. So in this, we have a 1975 Oloroso. We've got a 1995 French Champagne cask, a 2006 Armagnac cask, and then rounding it all off with a 2012 port cask as well. So, as I say, 4 different casks, from 4 different decades, all in this beautiful little dram that we've got here.
Wait. So there's a cask from 1976 in here. So it's like
75, yeah.
So it's like a blend.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it's not, you see, because obviously, like, it's still a single malt because it's all from the same distillery.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, the as long
It's
as
like a VAT release.
Yeah. As long as they all come from the
So
same
there's gonna be some
distillery,
really
it's
old
still a
stuff in here then, isn't
single
there?
malt. Yeah. I think I
Oh, straight away I get that Deanston smell. I love it because we previously just reviewed a Lefroy, which is so, you know what a Lefroy is straight away. You know, it's that really medicinal. This just takes you back to that way more mellow, lighter lowland whiskey. Is Deanston lowland? It's actually Highland. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. I obviously wasn't paying attention because I was
Southern Highlands.
But yeah, I thought it was lowland, but it's Southern Highlands. Cool. Well, it's got that character straight away of that region, hasn't it?
Yeah, and it's on the River Teith. You remember when we turned up there, the distillery's like right alongside the river. It used to be a cotton mill, and obviously they've got that as the water source and stuff as well. So
it's a beautiful place,
location,
isn't it? This
lovely.
like beautiful river just running next to it, and they got a couple of ghosts as well. Which
the ghost stories, yeah.
Yeah,
when
we were at the distillery, one of my things I like to ask, because the distilleries tend to go back a couple hundred years, and you know they're places of work. So I like to know if there's any ghost stories. And Molly had a good couple. She's seen a couple of ghosts, which is always fun for me. Not fun for anybody else on the tour, I don't think. But yeah, when I was saying with it's kind of got that character, it's on the nose. It's kind of like that, just like fresh floral character.
Yeah. I get quite a bit of spiciness as well. Lots of red berries. You know, those classic baking spices. Interestingly, I don't know. Yeah, it's not probably as dry as some of the wine casks, but it's
Nowhere
definitely
near as
got some
dry.
of those red fruit notes to it. 100%.
No, it's not. It's not that drying at all. I'm not finding at the moment.
It's chocolatey as
Yeah.
well. Chocolatey, nutty, red fruits.
Can you pick out the older whiskies in there?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Because you're going right back to 75, and then the youngest in it is from 2012. So this is a well-aged whiskey. You know, even at the combination of casks, like the youngest one must be 12 years old.
Yeah.
Or yeah, so you'd expect it. You've got obviously your Oloroso in there, more of those darker kind of fruit flavors.
It's very lively, I think. It's really lively because I bought a Tomatin VAT release, which was kind of a similar thing. You know, they kind of looked in the warehouse, seeing what was kicking about, and I popped it into a vat. And what I really liked about it is it was really dry.
Yeah.
It is really dry. But this is way more alive than that. Way more alive. And I'm getting, the bacon spices, the spiciness.
Yeah.
But it's a different spice to what we've just had with the Lefroy. Where it's like a gingery, herbally spicy. This is more of a, like you said, more like the bacon spice.
But you've got here, 4 different kinds of casks, and that lovely honeyed, sweet kind of Deanston character really comes through.
Yeah, well, I had the Banyuls cask, which is a French wine cask, very sweet. When I bought an 8-year-old Deanston, I love it. It's one I go to. I kind of have a bourbon that I always bourbon cask I always go to as my little drinker if I ever fancy a dram at home. And then second, I always find myself reaching for the Banyuls too much because I want to savor it, but it's just one it's such a delight. If you just want a little dram, the Banyuls absolutely perfect for me. The thing that put Deanston on my radar was there's a lot of talk online about the Deanston 18 and how reasonably priced it is. I think I bought it at the time off Amazon for £69. I've not seen it as cheap. I think you can get it for about 75 now. This was last year, and that's like the holy grail of 18-year-olds when you're looking at the correlation of quality and price.
Quality and price, yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. If you look at Lefroy 18, it's 180. If you're looking at a lot of these 18-year-old whiskies now, they're really commanding a premium.
Yeah.
Deanston seems to be still in that stage where it's people are like discovering how good it is.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and then so that it's kind of priced nicely for discovery.
So I put a couple of drops of water in this as well. This is a 52.5% strength whiskey. So it certainly packs a bit of a punch. I think the water opens it up to some really nice kind of toasted almond kind of flavors. But this one for me, yeah, I really like it. I think it's, sweet, nutty. It's got some good chocolate notes to it.
So what I think,
classic honey.
So what I think we do, Jay, is I think we move quickly and do a bit of a compare and contrast and sort of go up and down the flight because, when it comes to these are pretty big drams, aren't
Yeah, yeah.
they? This is probably maybe the drunkest we've got on an episode since the first one, where we had like 4 pints of Dutch courage before we turned on the camera. So let's move on to the second one, and then we'll do the sort of the buys at the end. What is this one, Jay?
So this is the 2023 Winterfest. It's 15-year-old whiskey that spent the first 13 of those years in a bourbon cask, and then it was finished for 2 years in a Burgundy wine cask. So it should be one for your palate, this one, definitely. It is also bottled at 52.5%, and I believe this was like a winter festival release that Deanston do annually. So
it's really rich, really strong, really rich, isn't it? Wow, yeah, I wasn't quite ready for the richness of it. It's like the raisin fruitcake. Don't get me that one.
Yeah, it is. It's quite a palate changer, isn't it?
That's like that's like could give you gout. It's that rich. That's really, yeah, really, really, really rich.
It's interesting, actually. It's I am getting that vanilla coming through on the nose, but the palate is very much those more kind of rich fruits, dried fruits, red berries, isn't it?
And it's also got a lovely sweetness on it as well. I've really enjoyed the wine casks I've tried in the last year. That might be because people are getting better at using the wine casks, but I think it's the sweetness, it's the dryness and the sweetness, and this is more of the sweeter type.
Yeah, that's definitely a sweet whiskey,
and it's lovely. I really like it.
Long finish as well.
Extremely long finish. It's just like a velvet richness to it.
The classic seeps into your tongue. Like, yeah, I've still got it. It is, as well. Obviously, we thought it was a great idea to just pour all the drams and like drink through them for the episode. And then when we poured them, we were like, "Wow, yeah, should we have really done that?"
Well, I didn't know how much 30 centiliters is, or 3 centiliters. Because usually when I pour it at home, I would never pour a dram that big. So I must be pouring like 15s. Because in the bar, if someone poured you 35 is like the good dram size, isn't it? But they look bigger than what you get in a bar.
Small glasses as well. But I think the thing is, this one for me definitely is something that I'd want to spend a bit more time with. I know obviously we're sort of trying to pace through and give them all a bit of a whirl. But I might come back to that one. Maybe even just like let it sit with some water in. So
Jay, tell me about number 3. I reckon we dive into number 3.
So yeah, number 3 is a bit of a special one. This is a 2000 Fino Organic. It is a 21-year-old whiskey. It's also Molly's favourite one from the selection. And we were pretty lucky and pretty privileged to get our hands on this. So she actually thought it had all sold out at the distillery. But apparently they found a few more cases, and we were lucky enough to get a dram from it. So
I do love that chestnut, the old chestnut of a story. Before we lost them all, but
found some in the back for you guys.
I do. I'm eating that up.
Like the Springbanks at Timaeus. I think we got some more 12-year-olds in the back.
Yeah, poor Mick. So yeah, that is just one of the most wonderful smells. That's like marzipan, butter, fudge.
Buttery.
Oh my God.
It is incredible, and it's so smooth as well, isn't it? So this is, again, I think Deanston were one of the first distilleries to start experimenting with organic whiskey. So everything from start to finish, there's, I suppose, an incredible amount of effort that goes into producing a fully organic whiskey. So this is something pretty special that we're trying right now.
So one of the big themes of our channel this year particularly has been, our step away from peated, our step away from sherry, and more into just classic bourbon casks. But that's why sherry is the best, right? And a lot of people say like Perry and sherry and peat is a big thing. This is obviously unpeated sherry, but I don't think I've ever had a better sherried whiskey than this. This is just ultimately blended. It's like that meme. You know, on the nose, like if you could smell what I'm smelling, and then
damn,
and it goes in there, and it just like takes up every bit of space in your mouth. You know, it's like it replaces the air. It's absolutely wonderful. I wish everybody could taste what I'm tasting right now. And the reason I'm still talking is because the finish is still there. It's such a long finish.
Yeah, I mean, the nose on it is incredible. The taste is incredible. The finish.
So you said this is sold out. They found a couple recently. But how much was it? How much was it when it was? How much would it? I know we were praising the price of the 18-year-old. What would the 21-year-old special release cost from Deanston?
Yeah, well, this is obviously it's an organic whiskey, you know, so it's going to set you back a few more pounds than it was. But if you think that before we were filming this episode, we were drinking the Lefroy 18 years, which is somewhere between 170 and 180, depending who you get it from. This would set you back £178.99.
Okay.
For a 21-year-old as well, like,
which is when you've had a couple of drams when you're on a whiskey tour, that's kind of you're in that market, aren't you?
special bottle kind of.
You're high on life. You're enjoying yourself, and you're trying great whiskeys, and you do want to treat yourself, don't you? Because you know you might not be back for a little while.
Yeah.
And this is just something that's rare. Wow.
It's the balance as well. You know, the classic character of Deanston that I find is. It is a sweet whiskey. I tend to get a lot of honey, and I do like that. Like, I've got a sweet tooth. I mean, you can tell when I tried that fudge, I'm like, oh yeah, let's go.
But this seems more thicker, rounded, and what's the word I'm looking for? Than Deanston than I expect from a Deanston. It's just I'm trying to think of the word, but it's just got everything.
I think. Sometimes with sherry, it can overpower a whiskey. And you think of, you know, when you see those really, really dark coloured sherry cask matured whiskies, like, you know, your Glendronachs or your Arran 18-year-old, they all almost look like flat Coca-Cola. They're that dark. And this, you can see, I mean, it's kind of like amber. You know, I think Fino is a much lighter, drier kind of sherry, certainly than the Oloroso or the PX that we were trying before.
You know when people talk about complexity in whiskey, and I am a fan of the fairly simple bourbon cask.
Yeah,
but I think I'm starting to understand what real complexity is. You know, people really talk about like complexity, and when you get to the higher ends of stuff that's really been in the cask for a long time, you really get to see a difference there.
Yeah,
that's not a word. That's a thing. That's tangible.
That one was special. Very good.
That is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
So
I think our work is done with that one.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely saving some of that to savor after we finish when the cameras are cut. Yeah. So the fourth dram we've got is the cask strength version of the Virgin Oak. So this is similar to the core release that they do, but just going. Taking it up slightly a notch, being bottled at 58.5%. But there's a lot that gets said about Virgin Oak. You know, some people think it's maybe a little bit.
Is it too Madonna?
I see what you did there. I think they use it to kind of speed up maturation. So you know, obviously you'll notice the Virgin Oak in the core range or the Virgin Oak cask strength, they're not age statements, and that's typically because Virgin Oak is used to impart more flavour into a younger whiskey so that they can get it out to market quicker. Me personally,
are you saying, you know, in Jerry Maguire, when he has the handshake, he's like, I don't do contracts. My handshake's strong as oak. And then he double crosses Jerry Maguire. Do you think it was Virgin Oak was his handshake?
Maybe, you never know.
But but I think actually I don't think I'm alone in this. Virgin Oak, Deanston, that seems to be one of the most popular non-age statement whiskies that are available for the price point that it's at.
I think it's solid. Yeah, it's a
You
good
know,
buy.
people really
you can pick it up really reasonably, can't you?
the
Like,
Boona Harbin's Troubadour, the Deanston Virgin Oak. They're kind of in that the Old Portney 12, but that's an age statement now. But in terms of non-age statements, it's kind of in that rarefied air that people really seem to be enjoying that.
yeah.
So okay, this is the one I was most looking forward to, but big in terms of when I saw what we had, because I've got experience. And I really like the Virgin Oak cask. I love all of the core range of Deanston, and so to have a cask strength version, I think why not?
Yeah.
In for a penny, in for a pound. In for a Deanston coin, in for a pound.
It's funny you say that, because obviously having just gone from the sherried Fino cask, 21 years old, straight away, like it's worlds apart. It's so different. But you do get a lot of more tropical fruit notes on the nose. And it reminds me a lot of a sweet shop, penny sweets. Those like little foam ones that you get.
The foam prawns.
Yeah, like those, or the bananas, or the little
Yeah.
mushrooms, like that kind of penny sweet characteristics.
It's funny because I was in a whiskey bar, hopscotch the other day, and there was one called "Mad as a Box of Frogs," and that was my note, the prawn, foam prawns. So what I first got is like kind of that like the picture that Ariel, the detergent, used to have on their picture of like it was like a field with like washing, like linen in the field. You kind of got that, but then you kind of go more towards like you're on the beach, more of the tropical, the papaya, the pineapple notes, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely got the tropical fruit notes as well.
It's
and
fresh.
then we are moving more back. Obviously, it's Virgin Oak, but we're moving back more towards those bourbon characteristics. So you do get the vanillas. I think the Virgin Oak, it adds more spice. So I'm not quite sure. More peppery kind of spice, maybe on the verge of like fresh ginger. But yeah, lots of vanillas, lots of spice.
This is the perfect example of why I didn't want to wolf them down one by one and actually compare and contrast, because my palate is super warm now, and it's a lot better than it was when we started this episode. Obviously, it's got a little bit of a climb down from what we've just had. It's going to need some adjustment, but in terms of you really get to see the sprightliness of it, right? Compared to the 21-year-old.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Because this smell is just beautiful. Like you said, it's kind of like, you've kind of tripped up in the Odeon and put your head in a pick and mix, and it's wonderful.
yeah.
You probably get charged a lot of money for that pick and mix being the Odeon, but no shade. Well, actually, all the shade. This is one of my classic profiles of whiskies. So I guess I do like the strength. I've never been as like you're really sort of like
Cask strength or nothing.
yeah. You always gravitate towards the
Yeah,
cask strength.
I do.
Me, who values my liver a little bit more. I kind of don't mind a 43, 46, 48%. To me, that they're kind of good. But this is
Quite nice with breakfast.
This is 9:11 a.m. for you. Oh, the water just smoothed out a little
Yeah,
bit.
does.
It's lovely.
But still, I mean, only a couple of drops.
And a bit of fudge going down with it.
Oh, wait until you try
Bit
that.
of Deanston 12-year-old malt whiskey fudge.
This is incredible stuff.
Do it have an ABV?
46%.
That's a delight.
That is incredible.
4%. So do you reckon if you gave this to your kids, they'd be up all night?
I don't think I'll be sharing that with the children. Incredible. So,
Oh, that's a delight. I'm trying. I'm gonna need to like. I'm gonna be pecking it down now.
whilst you enjoy that, then let's move to our fifth and final dram. So this is a 2012 Lepanto Butt. So it's a single.
A what?
But it's just a type of cask.
No, a
sherry cask.
Lepanto. What the hell is a Lepanto?
Lepanto is.
Is this like Pete Price? Pete
brandy.
Price is like Widow Twanky
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
Aladdin and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's what French people call...
Oh, no, you didn't?
French people call a pantomime Lepanto. No, it's a Spanish brandy.
Oh,
Spanish brandy that's been
I love a
matured
brandy.
in sherry casks. Apparently, one of the top brandies that you can get as well.
I forgot about this, but when I first saw the letter from Molly, this is the one I was most excited about trying, actually.
Yeah. So it's
It's 12 years old as well, so
12
it's got
years old.
a really good age
and
statement.
59%, I think. Yeah, 59%. And it's a single cask as well. So, yeah, I think this one should be
What's the percentage, sorry?
59.
59. Wow, this is strong as well. So, straight away you get brandy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might be able to mistake that for brandy. I'm getting brandy and cheese.
It's incredibly smooth for
This
59%.
this might be a memory thing, but you if I close my eyes and smell that dram and I nose that dram, then what I'm getting is I'm at a cheese table at a party. I got my brandy glass in one. I've got like my butler Winthorpe saying, "Is there anything I can do for you, sir?" And I'm smelling the cheese in that as well. Are you getting a cheese note?
Not really.
I'm
No.
getting a bit of a stinky cheese note.
Cheesy and brandy. There you go. Lepanto. Lepanto whiskey.
It's thin and fiery.
I don't find it fiery, I actually find it quite smooth considering it's 59%.
Well, yeah, I'm getting totally opposite. It's kind of like, yeah, thin and fiery. It's like a bit of a wasp on first.
I think it's thick, viscous. It's very unique though.
You're feeling every percent of that 59 is in that whiskey. Now you're getting the brandy notes are coming.
Yeah.
Now they're coming. Yeah, this is one that's going to need a bit of water, I think, to turn it around for me. I'm actually not enjoying this as much as I thought I would. So, what are we saying here? What are we saying with the brandy?
Well, I think about the only thing that I did that was useful while you were gone was just picked out this gooseberry note in it. So I know you were talking about like the sharpness, but I think obviously
So much smoother with water. That's really settled now. Actually, really settled.
pretty standard green apple, but it does have that like sharpness. As I say, really got that gooseberry note there.
Well, sometimes that's a palate adjustment. That's now gone to like good brandy. That's good stuff. And also brandy's not one that a lot of people experience without Coke, is it?
No.
And so it is quite overpowering when you first try, a high quality straight brandy, and it's kind of that, but that's settled. That's actually incredibly. It's got the richness actually to it.
Yeah. I like that.
It's got that mouthfeel, the dryness. It's got a bit of dryness to it as well. It's got that fruitiness you get from brandy. That's delicious. That's delicious. It gives me something that I can't place.
Yeah.
It's a whiskey I can't place. I don't have enough experience with brandy cask to even place it.
Yeah,
it's kind of really, it's really unique.
It is, yeah. I'd like to get every last drop out of that one.
Not had enough whiskey today. not enough on the table.
How much is enough? I think it would be good to rank them in terms of, which one's your number one. Where do you go? Yeah,
well, it seems like so long ago, and I reckon not even my mum's gonna watch all the way through this one.
So I think for me, number one is an easy choice because that is got to be the 2000 Fino Organic. It's not actually just the best Deanston that I've tried today, but it might be one of the best sherried whiskies that I think I've tried.
Yeah, I think
incredible.
I think Chronicle 2 has put a fucking spanner in the works. Coming back to Chronicle 2 is
I like that one as well though. Almost spoilt for choice.
I haven't tried 2 again. Have you gone back to 2 yet?
Yeah.
What are you saying with 2?
It's not my favorite. I'm going Organic, 21-year-old. Number 2, Chronicles. Number 3, the Virgin Oak. Then the Lepanto. And then 5th is the 15-year-old Burgundy finish for me.
Okay, so this is interesting because usually when we go and taste things, I'm like the contrarian of the group. Mine's always in the reverse order, and I don't want to be a contrarian, but I do agree that this would probably be my least favorite, and just retrying that hasn't got any better for me. But there's 3 I really, really love here. I'm torn. There's a part of me that wants to be contrarian, but yeah, I think Chronicle is going to be number 1 or 2. I'm just not sure. I need to go back to this little beauty, because this has changed the sherry cask game. Number one.
What, the Virgin Oak?
No, that's the cherry. That's the 21-year-old sherry. That's number 1. Like,
yeah, that's what I
Marty,
said.
you got some damn good taste, is all I'll say.
Yeah, I think it's an easy decision for me. That is a standout dram.
That's a worldie. That's a David Beckham free kick against Greece. 2-2.
It's
all day, son. That's a.
Email Molly and see if they've got any more cases in the back.
Oh yeah. You tell it. Just so I can hear the story again.
So you're doing your number 1. What are you saying about number 2?
I'm torn. I'm like Natalie and Boulaga. I'm torn because you've got Celebration or Chronicles too. And I'm still campaigning. If you find one last bottle, if this myth is to be realized, and they did actually find a case, maybe they find another case. I reckon that last bottle, slap on a Celebration label, release it as our 100th episode. This is a great whiskey.
Chronicles too, I think it is sold out, but it was only £90. Which, considering it's got a cask from 1975 in, is pretty bloody impressive, isn't it?
That's like a history lesson in a glass.
That's incredible.
I really like this Virgin Oak cask strength. I think this competes with a lot in terms of my natural palate. That I think was kind of like God-given palate of what I naturally like.
Yeah,
it's just perfectly in zone with it. These two are like this is like Ronaldo's performance in the 2002 World Cup final. These are spectacular, and maybe these are one-off drams you try every now and then, right? You get to try. Let me just give the brandy one more try. This was great. This is really good as well.
The Lepanto. I
would buy this like. I would go and buy this every day and just have a bottle. I'm actually going to buy a bottle of this.
The cask strength Virgin Oak.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
This is beautiful. I'd love to try. I'd love to have this with my uncle actually, because he's a big brandy guy.
Okay, so look, got to push you. You've deliberated for long enough. Give us your top 5.
Okay. Stop press. Okay, we're gonna go do joint first. I can't separate these. Like this is going to start a love affair with sherry.
Oh, that Fino one's so good. It is, yeah.
If you see me like 8 a.m. with a sleeping bag outside Glendronach, then it's Deanston that are actually at fault, because this sherry cask, this is unbelievable.
It is incredible.
Fino, this may change my year of whiskey, because I think in not trying to be contrarian style, I think non-peated sherry is
the way to go.
Well, we're halfway through the year, aren't we? We're in July. We're halfway through the year. We've done a lot of bourbon casks this year. I think the second half of the year, maybe the unpeated sherry. We did the unpeated bourbon.
Yeah?
The unpeated sherry, because that is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. So good. Number three is kind of tough, because like this little baby, the cask strength Virgin Oak, that's the Lepanto. I put him in the wrong direction, but the cask strength Virgin Oak, this is one that I'll probably buy and have on hand.
Yeah.
So that when I have friends round, this will be like the livener First round of the night, little livener.
Starting strong, 58.5%. Get on it.
Yeah, there's always a glass of water if you need it. But then I've really grown to love this one.
It's a grower.
That's probably number 3 because I like the spicy, fruity. It's got
In the end, which is good because it wasn't like an instant hit, was it? It took you a little while to warm up to that one.
Well, it's because that's the contrast. That's why it's a really good idea, guys. If you can have a flight and enjoy them over a period. I know probably 1 hour we're trying to edit it down.
You'd hope so.
Trying to edit it down, but this is the joy of a tasting that you get. This has kind of really made me excited for the tour that we're going on in a couple of weeks over to Scotland, because this is what you get to do. You get to compare and contrast, and try 6 or 7, maybe not this measures, maybe smaller measures.
Yeah, you can see that's why. That's why
you get to
like
try
the
them, and this is the joy because it's like my sister sometimes said. I know I've said this before on the podcast, but my sister says, "Well, it's just this like white liquid that goes into a cask. How can they taste this different?"
Yeah.
But then this is if she could smell what I'm smelling and try what I try, then it's amazing. It truly is phenomenal. And so this is a 4th place, so it's not going to get in the medal table. Because if you give a joint first, you can't give that a third.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a bit of a cop out. So it's a 4th, but actually the most buyable one is this.
Yeah.
I reckon Deanston should find another one of these. Which was the one they lost to celebrate the Chronicle.
Cases in the back. The organic, the Pheno organic.
Okay, well, Molly, I'm coming. Me and the ghosts, we're coming.
We need some.
We're gonna find that. We're gonna find a cherry cask because that is truly that is phenomenal. And for £179, I just can't believe you can get a better sherry cask for £179 than that. What that is.
Yeah.
That is all-time whiskey level.
So, we got our top 5.
Only the 3 and 4 are really different. And I couldn't put the celebration. I couldn't put the celebration number 2 because
it's called the Chronicles.
it's a winner. It's an absolute winner.
So, there we have it. I've had a good time. I think Michael's had a good time. If anybody is still watching, I hope you had a good time, or maybe it was just a long time.
Well, I think the good thing about this episode, and it's getting so buzzed, is that nobody's probably going to watch this far, apart from Molly. So we may not get invited back to Deanston.
Not even the mums. Not even the mums are watching this far.
No.
Anyway, we'll see you next time on Bottle Kill TV.
This may be the drunkest I've been on an episode of Bottle Kill TV.